You are not here to beg life for scraps. You are not here to hope something works out. You are here to command your reality from within. And yes, you can manifest $100 0 cents K in 3 days. If you understand the truth of who you are. You are not flesh waiting for a miracle. You are spirit clothed in flesh, creating miracles through assumption. The question is not, can you manifest $100 0 cents? Okay, the real question is, can you accept it as already yours before your senses confirm it? Let me take you there now. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself 3 days from now. The money has arrived. It is complete. Whether it came from a business, a gift, a refund, or an idea, doesn't matter. What matters is that you feel it real. Breathe in that security. Hear your inner voice say, I knew it would come. It was always mine. Can you hear the confidence in your tone? Can you feel the satisfaction in your body? That is the secret. Do not try to manifest. You cannot bring into being what already is. Creation is finished. There is already a version of you that holds the $100 0 cents K. You must simply occupy that version. Live in that state until the world around you mirrors it back. But listen closely. You must stop looking for the money. Stop checking your account. Stop watching the hours. That is the fastest way to delay it. You do not plant a seed and dig it up every hour to see if it's growing. Instead, you rest in knowing. You move like someone who already received the wire transfer. You speak like someone whose pockets are full. You smile like someone who just proved the impossible possible. 3 days, that is all. Not because time is required, but because it gives your mind a window of belief. And belief is the bridge. Do not pray from poverty. Do not ask as though money is far from you. Speak as if it is already done. Walk as if you have already cashed the check. What you assume to be true becomes true. If you persist in the inner claim, the outer world must yield. So here is your commandment. Assume it now. Live from it now. And for 3 days, let nothing in this world convince you otherwise. Because when the mind accepts it, the world reflects it. This works. It always works. Not because it's a trick, but because it's the truth. Now go and claim what is already yours. The moment you desire something powerful is already at play within you. Desire is not a random urge. It is a signal from a deeper reality calling you to remember what is already yours. You were not meant to wish, to beg, or to chase after your desires. You were meant to assume them. To assume the end is to see the goal as finished, not in theory, not in imagination as a distant dream, but as something complete. The world teaches you to work toward things, to earn them, to wait for permission or validation. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. You are not here to earn the $100 0 cents K. You are here to step into the version of yourself who already has it. You see, creation is not linear, it is finished. There are infinite realities, infinite outcomes, and infinite versions of you already existing. Somewhere there is a version of you with that $100 0 cents K sitting peacefully in your bank account, invested, multiplied, or joyfully spent. Your only task is to align yourself with that version. You do not wait for evidence. You bring the evidence into form by the power of your assumption. This is why assumption is not passive daydreaming, it is active living. It is the decision to occupy a state, to embody the feeling of the wish fulfilled before the outer world gives you proof. Most people live backward. They wait to see the money before they feel rich. They wait to hear the news before they celebrate. But those who understand the truth of consciousness know it is the other way around. You do not manifest by effort alone. You manifest by identity. When you take on the state of one who already possesses $100, 0 cents K, the outer world must conform. It may seem slow at first, but it is only adjusting to your new internal claim. You are not forcing it, you are becoming it. To assume the end is to feel now what you would feel if it were already done. How would you walk, speak, think, breathe, rest if you knew with absolute certainty the money had already arrived? Would you panic? Would you doubt? Would you cling? No, you would smile. You would relax. You would give thanks. This is not fantasy. It is faith in action. It is the law of life. You get what you are, not what you want. So when you want $100, 0 cents K, do not act like someone trying to get it. Act like someone who has already received it. Make decisions from that place. Your subconscious mind does not argue. It accepts what you give it. And the state you live in most often becomes your world. So feed it with certainty. Saturate it with the mood of already having. The mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. When you flood your inner world with the end, feeling, sensing, tasting it as real, your outer world rushes to keep up. So don't hope for the $100, 0 cents. Okay, don't wonder if it'll happen. Assume it has. Go to sleep in that assumption. Wake up in that assumption. Speak it under your breath throughout the day. Let it become your natural place. You do not ask how. You do not seek signs. You move with the quiet boldness of someone who knows they are already provided for. That is the power. That is the key. To assume the end is to become the end. And once you do, it is only a matter of time. Sometimes minutes, sometimes hours, but it will come, because it was never outside you, it was waiting for you to claim it. Every word you speak within yourself is a seed. Every thought, every silent whisper, every mental image you revisit becomes a blueprint. What you consistently affirm in the privacy of your own mind sets the tone for your external world. Inner speech is not a harmless monologue. It is the creative force shaping your reality moment by moment. People often wonder why their affirmations seem powerless, why nothing changes even though they are doing all the right things. But the truth lies not in what they say once or twice aloud, but in what they repeat all day long inside their mind. If the outer words say, "I am wealthy," but the inner voice says, "I don't know how I'll make it," or "this never works for me," then the dominant voice wins. The subconscious mind hears everything. It records your inner conversations faithfully, not judging, not analyzing, just accepting. It takes your inner speech as commands and then it orchestrates the outer conditions to match. The world you walk in is the mirror of the words you say when no one else is listening. You cannot experience wealth while nurturing poverty in thought. You cannot draw abundance while telling yourself stories of lack, struggle, and doubt. To change your world, you must first change the conversation you are having within. That conversation must match the life you wish to experience. You must speak riches into being by claiming them within. You must mentally rehearse the feelings, the gratitude, the security, the calm confidence of someone who is already wealthy. This is not make-believe, this is law. The law of assumption, the law of belief, the law of cause and effect. Your mind is the cause, your world is the effect. So what are you saying within yourself? When you face a bill, do you say, "I can't afford this," or do you calmly declare, "This is easy, money flows to me endlessly"? When you look at your bank account, do you panic or do you smile? With knowing, affirming silently, this is just temporary. I am always provided for. These may seem like small decisions, but they are monumental. Inner speech is not occasional, it is constant. And the one who takes control of this internal stream becomes master of their destiny. You do not need to speak aloud to create change. A single inner phrase, repeated with feeling, can outweigh 1,000 empty affirmations. I am rich. I always have more than enough. Money finds me in unexpected ways. I walk in wealth and ease. Say it not just with your lips, but with your heart. Say it until it becomes the natural rhythm of your thoughts. You will notice something miraculous. Your outer life will begin to reflect the change. Opportunities will appear. Ideas will come. People will assist and doors will open. Not by force, but by alignment. You are not separate from the world. It is your reflection. To clothe yourself in outer wealth, you must first wear wealth in your inner dialogue. You must speak it into your bones. You must make it familiar, normal, assumed. When you do, there will be no need to chase, no need to hustle with desperation. The world will come to match the richness you have already built inside. So monitor your inner speech. Correct it gently when it strays into worry or limitation. Replace it with words that uplift, that support your vision. Make your inner world a sanctuary of abundance, not a battlefield of fear. If you speak riches within, riches will clothe your world without. The world has no choice but to follow the voice you honor most. Make sure that voice is speaking life. Make sure it's speaking wealth. Because what you continue to affirm within must appear without. Time, as you've been taught, is not the truth. It is a useful illusion, a structure for measuring experience, but it is not reality. The deeper truth is that all things exist now. Every possibility, every outcome, every version of you already is. You are not here to create something new from nothing. You are here to select from the infinite what has already been created. When you desire money, let's say $100,000, 0 cents. You are not trying to manifest it from thin air. You are simply tuning your consciousness to the version of reality where you already have it. That version of you exists. That reality exists. It is not somewhere far away in time. It is here now, but invisible to the eyes trained only to see lack. You do not wait for it to come. You awaken to it. You align with it. Creation is finished. This truth changes everything. It means that there is nothing to chase, nothing to convince, to persuade, or to force. It means you can stop exhausting yourself with effort. You can step into ease, into trust, into clarity. All that is left is alignment. Alignment through feeling, through inner speech, through assumption and belief. When you imagine, when you feel the wish fulfilled, you are not daydreaming, you are selecting. You are moving consciousness, shifting identity. You are stepping into a version of you that already holds what you seek. That's why the feeling is so powerful. It's your guidance system. It tells you whether you are aligned with what you desire or drifting from it. The illusion of time says, one day I will be wealthy. But the truth of consciousness says, I am wealthy now. The moment you fully occupy that state, your world begins to conform. People will call it coincidence or chance. They'll say, you got lucky. But you will know the truth. You didn't wait, you didn't beg, you chose. Think of reality like a radio with infinite stations. All the stations already exist. You are not creating the music, you are tuning into the one you want to hear. If you want abundance, you do not build it from scratch. you change the frequency of your mind to match abundance. And like magic. But really, law, abundance begins to appear. Why? Because it was already there. You simply weren't attuned to it. You must train yourself to live from the end, not toward it. That is what it means to walk by faith, not by sight. You don't look to your bank account for proof. You don't look to the world to validate your new identity. You declare it first. You feel it now. You carry yourself as though it's already true, because it is. Time delays nothing but belief. When you truly accept that it's already done, delays collapse. The only distance between you and your desire is awareness. When you align, it shows up. Through people, through opportunities, through what the world calls miracles. But nothing is miraculous to the one who understands creation is finished. So stop asking, when will it come? And start declaring, it is already mine. Stop saying, how will it happen? And begin knowing it is happening now. Shift your attention from waiting to embodying. Let the end become your beginning. Feel the joy now. Feel the freedom now. That is the only way the world can reflect it. You are not moving through time, you are moving through states of consciousness. The moment you choose a new state, the scenery begins to shift. You are not stuck. You are not late. You are not behind. You are simply aligning. And once you align, once you fully accept the reality where you are already wealthy, time bows to your belief, and the world mirrors what you've already chosen. What you feel deeply, consistently, and with conviction becomes your world. This is the sacred key that opens every locked door, the ability to feel it real. You do not need to strive, chase, or prove anything. You only need to feel the reality of your desire as if it were already so, and the world must mirror it. When you feel something, you are claiming it, you are declaring it as yours. It is not wishful thinking or fantasy, it is spiritual law. Your imagination is the workshop of creation, and feeling is the tool that sets it all in motion. If you can feel yourself in possession of $100,000, 0 cents, not merely wishing for it, but truly dwelling in the state of already having it, then that state will externalize itself in your experience. Think of a time when something wonderful happened in your life. Before it arrived, you may have had a sense of knowing. You carried a certain inner peace, a calm assurance. That was the feeling of alignment. That was your consciousness preparing the way. And it always begins with the feeling. Most people do not allow themselves to feel wealth until they see it. They wait for evidence. But this is backward. You must feel first, and the feeling brings the evidence. It is not, I will feel rich when I receive the money. It is, I feel rich now, and therefore the money appears. The outer world is simply a delayed echo of your inner atmosphere. To feel it real, you must move beyond words and logic. You must quiet the critical mind and drop into the heart. What does it feel like to know you have $100 0 cents K right now? Close your eyes. Breathe it in. Feel the freedom, the security, the joy, the confidence. Let it soak into every cell of your body. Let it be real to you, realer than the current facts. If your senses contradict the feeling, ignore them. Your senses report only what is already being created, but you are creating something new. Your inner world is the cause, the outer world is the effect. Never confuse the two. Walk by the feeling, not by sight. You may be tempted to say, but I don't see it yet. I don't know how it's going to happen. That doesn't matter. You are not responsible for the how. Your only responsibility is the state. When you enter the state of the wish fulfilled, through feeling, you summon the paths, the people, the ideas, and the timing. You become magnetic to the thing you have claimed within. Imagine waking up tomorrow with $100,000, 0 cents in your account. What would be different? How would you move? How would you think, walk, speak? Begin doing that now. Not to trick the universe, but to agree with the truth that exists on another level. Because your desire is not coming, it is already present. The feeling is the bridge that carries it into visibility. Use your imagination like an artist. Paint scenes in your mind where you see the numbers, you hear the confirmation, you celebrate, you give thanks. Feel the softness of the bed you sleep in, knowing everything is taken care of. Feel the smile on your face as you pay every bill with ease. Dwell in that inner experience again and again until it becomes your dwelling place. The more you return to that feeling, the more you live from it, the more real it becomes, and the more the outer world is compelled to comply. Reality will bend, shift, and rearrange itself to match the emotion you have decided is true. The only requirement is feeling, not effort, not struggle, not time, just the ability to feel now what you desire to feel later. If you can generate the feeling of already holding that $100 0 cents K, the outer world must rearrange to reflect it. This is the power you've always had. Use it, and let the feeling lead you home. You were never meant to carry the burden of how your desires unfold. That part is not yours. Your part, the only part that belongs to you, is to dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled, to assume it so completely, so confidently, that you feel no need to micromanage the process. The moment you try to force the method, you interrupt the flow. The more you need to know the how, the further you drift from the state of knowing. The invisible realm, the unseen intelligence, the power that governs all manifestation, it knows what to do. It holds every detail, every connection, every path. It sees around corners you cannot. It moves mountains without struggle. But it only responds to your inner state, not to your worry, not to your questions, but to your assumption. When you decide that your desire is yours, and you feel the truth of that within, you activate a power beyond comprehension. Your assumption is the signal, and the unseen does the organizing. It draws the right people, opens the right doors, closes the wrong ones, shifts circumstances, stirs up conversations, all without your effort, but only if you allow it. You cannot assume and then immediately question. You cannot declare it is done and then dig up the seed to see if it's growing. Every time you worry, you delay. Every time you try to calculate, you constrict. You must detach from the mechanism and fall into faith, not blind faith, but intelligent trust. Trust in a system that has never failed to mirror consciousness. This is why you're told to live as if, to walk in the mood, the tone, the feeling of already receiving. You are not asked to control. You are asked to yield, to surrender the part that is not yours and to claim the part that is. And what is your part? To be the person who already has the $100, 0 cents, K. To feel the result. To live in that state inwardly, fully, and without contradiction. Once the assumption is solid, once the feeling is natural, you are done. You can go about your day without trying to make anything happen. You may be inspired to act, and if so, act. But even then, do not act to create the outcome. Act from the outcome. Act as the one who already knows it is done. The unseen works best when you are relaxed, open, receptive. When you stop grasping. When you stop asking when. Let go of timelines. Time is not your guide. Feeling is. If you maintain the feeling, reality must catch up. It is law. It cannot fail. Imagine being given a gift that you are told will arrive in 3 days. You don't question whether it's coming. You don't track the delivery truck every hour. You trust the giver. You make space for it. You prepare to receive. This is the spirit you must bring into your own creation. Assume the end. Prepare your inner world for the gift, and trust that it is being delivered. You may not see how, you don't need to. The how is not the truth, the state is. The unseen intelligence works quietly, faithfully, and often beyond your comprehension. Sometimes you will look back in awe at how it all came together. It may appear sudden, but it was always building behind the veil. Release the how. Trust the invisible. The power that forms stars and systems, that orchestrates the beating of your heart, is the same power shaping your desire. You don't need to figure it out. You need only to align, to feel, and to trust. It is done. It is coming. It is already here, waiting for you to stop interfering and start believing. You must learn to act from the state, not toward it. Most people make the mistake of believing they must earn their way into the feeling. They say, once I get the $100 0 cents K, then I'll feel secure, powerful, and successful. But this is not how reality works. Reality doesn't move from effect to cause, it flows from within outward. The feeling of success must come first, and then the outer world bends to match it. You are not waiting for the money is waiting for you to assume the version of yourself who already has it. It's already available in the invisible, but it will not arrive while you dwell in a state of lack or hope. You must become the person with the $100 0 cents K now. In your imagination, in your tone, in your posture, in your expectations, and from that state you act. Your words must reflect it. Your mindset must mirror it. Your daily decisions must rise from it. You must not try to impress or perform for anyone. That's still seeking from the outside. Instead, you quietly carry the knowing within you. I have it. I am it. It is done. And every move you make should be colored by that inner confidence. This is not about pretending in a shallow sense. It's about identifying with a new self. A self that already knows what it feels like to receive. You must walk as the one who has received. You speak with calm assurance. You take care of things with poise. You stop doubting and start preparing. You don't talk about getting rich. You embody wealth. This is what acting from the state looks like. You aren't trying to convince anyone. You aren't hoping for confirmation. You have already received confirmation in the only place that matters, your imagination. Once you've captured the feeling of fulfillment in your inner world, you walk through life differently. Imagine the version of yourself who just received a deposit of $100, 0 cents. Okay? That version exists now. You do not need to build that self. You simply need to align with it. That version thinks differently. That version no longer doubts whether it's possible. That version no longer asks small questions. That version doesn't lower their standards or shrink to fit circumstances. They move through life with direction because they know the result is theirs. You are always acting from a state. If you are not consciously acting from the state of your desire fulfilled, you are unconsciously acting from a state of not having. And action from a state of lack only breeds more lack. You cannot hope your way into wealth. You live your way into it by inwardly embodying it now. Even if nothing outside of you has changed, the moment you change your state, the shift begins. You become magnetic. You notice different opportunities. You respond differently. And slowly or suddenly, the world begins to catch up to who you've decided to be. You must remember, It is not what you do that brings the result, it is the state from which you do it. You can take the same action from two different states and get opposite results. The man who acts from confidence will succeed, where the man who acts to gain confidence will fail. The one who acts from wealth creates wealth. The one who acts to gain it stays in need. So change your reference point. Instead of acting to become successful, act because you are successful. Think from the end. Make choices from the future you've claimed. Refuse to look around for evidence. Look within for confirmation. And let that inner confirmation guide your every move. This is the true path. Not waiting, not wishing, but walking daily in the state of the already fulfilled. Do this, and the outer world will rise to meet the image you've boldly held. In conclusion, the path to manifesting $100 0 cents K, or anything you desire, is not through struggle or endless effort. It is found in your ability to shift your inner state and remain unwavering in the knowledge that what you seek is already yours. By assuming the state of the wish fulfilled, by trusting the unseen intelligence that already receives all things, and by acting from the place of having already received, you unlock the power to call forth the riches you desire. Your inner world shapes your outer reality. When you feel it real, trust the process and let go of how it will unfold. You free yourself from the limitations of doubt and open the door to limitless possibility. The universe is always responding to the consciousness you hold. Therefore, your success, your abundance, your $100 0 cents. It is not a future event, but a present reality awaiting your full embrace. Thank you for your time and attention. Trust in your ability to manifest. Feel the truth of your desires now, and know that everything you seek is already on its way. Keep walking boldly in the certainty of your success. The world is waiting to reflect back to you exactly who you believe yourself to be. Your current reality may seem undeniable. It might scream limitations, hardship, or lack. But I tell you, it is merely a reflection of yesterday's beliefs. It has no true authority over what tomorrow holds unless you surrender your power to it. Look not at the facts of your life with fear or doubt, but rather with the knowing that circumstances are clay, ready to be molded by the unseen hand of your imagination. What appears immovable is but a fleeting shadow cast by your past thoughts. Do not be fooled by appearances. They are not set in stone. They are malleable, shifting with the force of your belief. If you dwell upon lack, lack will grow. But if you dare to assume that you already possess your heart's desire, the world will conform to that vision. The secret lies not in striving to change the world outside, but in mastering your inner world. Imagine vividly, persistently, and lovingly what you wish to experience. Feel it real within you now, not someday, but this moment. Know that life will rush to mirror that state. Circumstances will whisper to you, "Look, this is the truth." But remember, they only reflect the past. Pay them no heed. Instead, declare boldly, "This is not my future." Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and live in that knowing. Be unmoved by what you see. Hold steadfast to what you know in your heart. Your circumstances may resist, but they must bow to the power of your inner conviction. So, never pay attention to the conditions around you. They are illusions waiting to dissolve. Focus only on the truth within, the truth that all you desire is already yours. And so it shall be. End of poem. The world you experience is not an independent force acting upon you, but a mirror reflecting the contents of your mind. Every challenge, success, or obstacle you encounter stems from a deeper origin, the beliefs, assumptions, and emotions you carry within. While circumstances may appear external and beyond your control, they are shaped and molded by the invisible patterns of thought you have chosen to accept as true. Life is a huge double-bedded circus, guaranteed to generate sickness and passion. Consider this: if you believe yourself to be powerless, the world will reflect situations that affirm your lack of power. If you carry an assumption of abundance and success, your outer world will shift to reveal opportunities and outcomes aligned with that belief. It is not the external condition that dictates your reality, but your internal agreement with that condition. You may think the obstacles in your path are fixed and immutable, but they only persist as long as you give them energy through your focus and belief. To transform your life, you must first change your perception of who you are and what you believe is possible. The process is simple yet profound. Cease reacting to the world as though it holds authority over you. Instead, look inward and consciously select the thoughts you choose to entertain. When you understand that your mind is the architect of your reality, you gain dominion over life itself. Imagine a person who constantly fears failure. Even if opportunities arise, their internal state of fear will color how they perceive and engage with those opportunities. They may sabotage their success or fail to recognize possibilities altogether. Conversely, a person who holds an unwavering belief in their own success will encounter the same challenges with confidence and clarity. Their world will open up in alignment with the image they hold of themselves. The power of this principle lies in its universality. No matter your background, circumstances, or current situation, the potential to reshape your life rests within you. Begin by observing the thoughts you habitually entertain. Are they thoughts of limitation, fear, or inadequacy? If so, recognize them for what they are: echoes of past conditioning, not immutable truths. Gently but firmly replace them with thoughts of empowerment, abundance, and fulfillment. This is not about ignoring reality or pretending problems do not exist. Rather, it is about understanding that the external world is fluid and responsive to your internal convictions. Problems begin to dissolve not through force, but through a shift in perception. By assuming the feeling of your desired state and living from that assumption, your external reality will naturally realign to mirror your inner transformation. When you stop giving your circumstances power over your emotions and actions, you reclaim your creative authority. You become the master of your experience, no longer swayed by fleeting appearances. Hold steadfast to the vision of what you desire, knowing that it is already yours. As you persist in this state, the world must yield and reflect the truth you have embraced within. Remember, your external reality is but a shadow cast by the light of your inner state. Choose wisely what you project. Imagination is the origin of all creation, the true power behind every visible manifestation in your life. It is not simply a tool for entertainment or fantasy, but the very substance through which your desires take form. What you vividly imagine and feel to be true in your mind will, without fail, manifest in your external reality, regardless of your current circumstances. This principle transcends logic, societal norms, and even physical limitations. It is the secret that governs the unfolding of life itself. Every invention, work of art, and breakthrough was born in the realm of imagination before it became visible to the world. The same creative process that shaped the progress of civilization is available to you, waiting to be consciously directed toward the realization of your dreams. The key lies in understanding that imagination is not bound by time, space, or circumstance. It is infinite, unrestricted by what you perceive as obstacles in the material world. The mistake many make is allowing their imagination to be driven by external conditions. They see lack and limitations and imagine those conditions persisting. In doing so, they perpetuate the very reality they wish to change. But when you learn to detach your imagination from what currently exists and instead place your focus firmly on what you desire, you begin to create a new reality from within. Your external world, which may appear fixed and unyielding, must respond to the sustained power of your imaginative vision, and never abandon the occasional blow from the hammer of truth. Consider the importance of feeling in this process. Imagination alone, without the corresponding emotional state, lacks the energy required to manifest. It is not enough to picture yourself living the life you desire. You must also feel the joy, gratitude, and fulfillment as if that life were already yours. When your imagination and emotions are in harmony, you create a vibrational frequency that attracts the very circumstances necessary to bring your vision to life. That is how things get like that. It's only by making a connection between the... This is not a passive process. It requires discipline and persistence. The mind is often tempted to revert to habitual thoughts aligned with current conditions. But your power lies in maintaining focus on your imagined reality, regardless of appearances. When doubts arise, recognize them as fleeting shadows of past beliefs. Gently but firmly, return your mind to the vision you hold, reinforcing it with unwavering faith. Many dismiss the power of imagination because they cannot see immediate results. But just as a seed must take root and grow before it becomes visible above the ground, your imagined reality requires time to manifest in the physical world. Patience and persistence are vital. Trust that what you consistently imagine and feel to be true is unfolding, even if you cannot yet see it with your physical eyes. Fast imagination persistence. Fast imagination persistence. Fast imagination persistence. Faster work of imagination persistent. Never underestimate the creative force within you. Your imagination, directed by intention and sustained by emotion, is limitless in its capacity to shape your world. You are always creating, whether consciously or unconsciously. Choose wisely what you imagine, for what you envision and feel deeply in your heart will inevitably become your reality. The power is within you. Use it deliberately, and you will witness miracles unfold. Now, circumstances are never permanent. What you see before you today may feel overwhelming or immovable, but it is merely a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs, crystallized into form. Life is in constant motion, always responding to the inner workings of your mind. The key to transformation lies in understanding that no condition is fixed unless you accept it as such. Everything in your experience will shift and bend to align with your dominant thoughts and beliefs. When faced with difficult circumstances, it is easy to believe that they define your life or will persist indefinitely. However, these conditions are not the ultimate reality. They are temporary reflections shaped by your perception and internal state. Just as a river continuously flows and changes its course, so too does life move in response to your evolving consciousness. The world around you reshapes itself to reflect the assumptions you hold most consistently in your mind. Imagine standing before a mirror. The reflection you see does not change until you do. If you frown, the mirror frowns back. Smile, and the reflection responds in kind. The external world operates much like that mirror, reflecting back the energy, emotions, and beliefs you project onto it. If you see hardship and react by reinforcing thoughts of struggle, the world mirrors that struggle back to you. Conversely, when you shift your internal focus to thoughts of abundance, peace, or joy, your circumstances begin to reflect those qualities, and this becomes a gradual transformation. The first step toward it is important to remember that transformation begins within. You cannot force external changes by sheer effort or willpower alone. True and lasting change emerges when you shift your perception and assume a new mindset. This does not mean ignoring reality, but rather recognizing that reality is fluid, not rigid. What appears as a limitation today can dissolve tomorrow when your beliefs align with freedom and possibility. Circumstances may seem persistent because the mind often clings to what it observes in the physical world, reinforcing existing conditions through repetitive thoughts. But just as seasons change despite appearances of permanence, your life evolves as your beliefs evolve. The winter of struggle can give way to the spring of prosperity, if you maintain faith in your ability to manifest change. Patience and persistence are essential. The physical world operates within time, so changes may not appear instantaneously. However, if you remain steadfast in your vision and unwavering in your belief, circumstances must eventually yield to the reality you hold within. Your external environment is compelled to reorganize itself to match the dominant vibration of your thoughts. No condition, no matter how challenging, is beyond transformation. The very challenges you face today are opportunities to reclaim your creative authority and reshape your experience. Hold firmly to the vision of what you desire and know that circumstances are like waves, always shifting, always moving in response to the unseen forces of your inner world. Trust the process, for as your thoughts change, so too will the conditions of your life. Nothing is permanent unless you believe it to be so. Your attention is a force of creation directing the flow of energy in your life. What you choose to focus on expands and takes form in your reality, whether consciously or unconsciously. Like sunlight magnified through a lens, attention intensifies and nurtures the object of your focus, empowering it to grow and manifest. Therefore, mastering your attention is essential to shaping the life you desire. Many people unintentionally fixate on what they do not want: problems, fears, or limitations. They replay negative scenarios in their minds, dwell on worries, and speak about challenges as though they are permanent fixtures of life. This misplaced focus does not dissolve the undesirable conditions, it amplifies them. The more energy you give to what you don't want, the more rooted it becomes in your experience. Shifting your focus is not about denying reality or ignoring challenges. It is about consciously choosing where to direct your mental and emotional energy. When you understand that your attention nurtures whatever it touches, you begin to withdraw it from what is undesirable and instead invest it in what you wish to create. Rather than resisting problems, redirect your thoughts towards solutions and possibilities. Rather than dwelling on lack, focus on abundance and gratitude for what you already have. Surround yourself. Imagine a gardener tending to a garden. If they water only the weeds will flourish while the flowers wither. But if the gardener shifts their care to the flowers, nurturing them with intention, beauty and growth will inevitably follow. Your mind is no different. Whatever you water with your attention, whether positive or negative, will thrive in your life. It is often tempting to focus on undesirable situations because they feel urgent or immediate. However, remember that attention does not need to be reactive. It can be a deliberate choice. By consciously deciding where to place your focus, you reclaim control over your experience. Even in challenging times, you have the power to center your attention on the outcome you desire, rather than the problem at hand. Start small by becoming aware of your habitual thought patterns. Notice when your mind drifts toward fear, doubt, or frustration. Gently but firmly redirect it to thoughts of peace, confidence, and clarity. Visualization can be a powerful tool. Imagine your desired outcome as though it is already real, and immerse yourself in the feelings associated with that reality. The more you practice this shift, the more natural it becomes. It is not just about thinking positively, but cultivating a steadfast awareness of your creative power. The universe is responsive, not arbitrary. It reflects back the energy you project through your focused attention. If you consistently envision success, fulfillment, and joy, your external world will reorganize to match that vision. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. Guard your focus as you would your most precious possession. By consciously directing it toward what you desire rather than what you fear, you harness the creative power within you to shape a life aligned with your highest aspirations. Focus wisely, for your attention is the key to transformation. Assume logic training and develop your mental faculties. Shape your attention, balance your focus, and build your resolve. The facts of your life, as they appear today are merely the byproducts of your past beliefs, thoughts, and assumptions. They are not permanent or immutable, but reflections of what you once held as true within yourself. These external conditions, no matter how overwhelming or entrenched they may seem, have no inherent power over you unless you allow them to dictate your future. To truly transform your life, you must learn to be unmoved by facts and remain anchored in the truth of your desired reality. It is easy to become captivated by current circumstances, believing that they define who you are and what is possible for you. The mind tends to accept these outward appearances as the ultimate truth, creating a cycle in which past manifestations continue to shape present experiences. This is why so many people feel trapped by their conditions, unable to break free from patterns of limitation. But freedom begins when you recognize that facts are simply echoes of former states of mind. They do not determine what comes next unless you give them that power. Imagine for a moment that you're reading a story written by someone else. The plot may have twists and turns you didn't anticipate, but at any moment you can close the book and choose a new narrative to explore. Your life operates in much the same way. The facts you see before you are just chapters in a story shaped by previous thinking. They do not have to bind you if you choose to write a new chapter rooted in your desires rather than dictated by past beliefs. Being unmoved by facts does not mean ignoring reality or pretending the challenges do not exist. It means acknowledging those conditions without allowing them to define your mindset or limit your vision. When you remain grounded in the conviction that your desired outcome is possible, regardless of what external circumstances suggest, you open the door to profound transformation. The world around you will begin to shift as it aligns with your new state of mind. To embody this practice, develop a habit of detachment from appearances. See the facts as temporary markers, not permanent barriers. Cultivate a deep inner knowing that your current conditions are fluid, ready to be reshaped by your evolving beliefs. Instead of reacting emotionally to unwanted situations, respond with calm certainty that they too shall pass as your consciousness shifts. Faith plays a crucial role in this process. Faith is the bridge between what is seen and what is unseen, between the facts of today and the possibilities of tomorrow. When you hold unwavering faith in your vision, no fact can shake you. The material world must eventually conform to the dominant beliefs you consistently hold within. Be bold in your imagination and steadfast in your belief. Let the facts be nothing more than passing shadows, while your focus remains fixed on the light of your desire. When you master this state of mind, you will find that circumstances lose their hold over you, and life reshapes itself to reflect the truth you carry within. To experience the fulfillment of your desires, you must first assume the feeling that your wish is already realized. This is not just a mental exercise, but a shift in consciousness, a way of living from the end rather than striving toward it. When you embody the emotional and mental state of your fulfilled desire, your external world has no choice but to align itself with your inner reality. For example, circumstances will rearrange, people will appear, and paths will open to bring about the manifestation of what you have claimed within. The key to this transformative approach lies in understanding that imagination and feeling are the creative forces of your reality. If you constantly dwell on what you lack, you perpetuate that state. But when you shift your focus and live in the feeling of already having your desire, you change the very foundation of your experience. It is not enough to simply think about what you want. You must feel as if it is already yours. This feeling is the creative seed that draws your desired outcome to you. Imagine holding in your heart the joy, peace, or confidence that comes with the realization of your goal. Suppose your desire is financial freedom. Instead of dwelling on thoughts of struggle or scarcity, immerse yourself in the feeling of abundance. Imagine what it feels like to live without financial worry. how you would walk, speak, and think differently if your every financial need were already met. Carry that feeling throughout your day as if it were your present reality, regardless of what the outer world currently reflects. This practice is not about pretending or fooling yourself into denial, but rather assuming a new state of consciousness that invites transformation. By living in the awareness of your fulfilled desire, you condition your mind to recognize and act upon opportunities that align with your new state. The universe responds to your energy and aligns circumstances to reflect your dominant state of being. It is essential to maintain consistency in this practice. Doubts or contradictory feelings will attempt to surface, pulling your attention back to what appears to be your current reality. When this happens, gently but firmly return to the assumption of fulfillment. Just as a seed takes time to grow beneath the soil before breaking through to the surface, the manifestation of your desires requires faith and persistence. Trust the process, even when no immediate changes are visible. The outer world is always playing catch-up to your inner state. When you persistently live as though your desire is already fulfilled, the world eventually conforms to that vision. Be patient, for your inner reality will impress itself upon the external world at the right time and in the right way. The more vividly you assume the feeling of fulfillment, the more effortlessly your desires manifest. Live from the end, feel the joy of your realized goal, and know that the universe is already orchestrating everything needed to make it your reality. Let your inner world lead, and your outer world will follow. In every moment, you hold the power to shape your reality. Life reflects your inner beliefs, feelings, and focus, not the circumstances you see before you. By shifting your attention from obstacles to possibilities, by living as though your desires are already fulfilled, and by being unmoved by temporary facts, you become the architect of your own experience. Trust in your imagination, assume the feeling of your realized dreams, and watch as life rearranges itself to align with your inner vision. Remember, the journey begins within you. Stand firm in your knowing, direct your focus wisely, and let the infinite creative power within guide you toward the life you desire. Thank you for joining me on this transformative journey. Beloved seekers of truth, I invite you to contemplate a radical shift in perspective, seeing solitude not as a void to be filled, but as the fertile soil where your greatest life blossoms. This is the secret of finding illumination. Why does living alone surpass any relationship? Because in that sacred space of solitude, you become the architect of your reality, free from the need to conform to another's expectations or opinions. The stillness found in living alone is not emptiness, it is fullness, an infinite reservoir of creative energy. In relationships, even the most loving ones, there is a gentle tug, sometimes a chain, that pulls you from yourself. But when you stand alone, every step you take, every choice you make, is a conversation between you and your highest self. There are no compromises, only commitments to your divine calling. In the silence of solitude, you hear the whispers of intuition louder than the world's chaos. You learn that what you sought from others was always within you. Peace, fulfillment, and love were never theirs to give or take away. You are the source. So, when you live alone, you reclaim your freedom. Freedom to rise at dawn to chase your purpose. Freedom to sit with your thoughts without interruption. Freedom to craft a life molded by your visions alone, uncolored by external doubts or fears. Your focus sharpens like a blade. Desires no longer waver under another's influence. They become unwavering, inevitable manifestations of your will. You no longer beg the universe to make things happen. You declare them done because your belief has become unshakable. It is the reason you understood the concept of the cosmos to begin with. And when the world questions why you choose solitude, remember this: you are never truly alone. In the quiet, divine wisdom flows through you. That which created you communes with you in the stillness, guiding you to your highest destiny. Living alone is not a retreat from life. It is a mastery over it. When you embrace solitude, you realize that love, fulfillment, and divine connection were never bound to another person. They were, and always will be, yours to claim from within. And this is the important realization in the following passage, written by Kai Chioi in his "True strength is not found in the accolades of others or the fleeting approval of external sources. It resides in the quiet, unshakable knowing of oneself, a clarity and confidence cultivated in solitude. When you step away from the noise of the world and stand alone, you are presented with a profound opportunity to discover who you truly are, free from the influence of societal expectations, opinions, or judgments. In solitude, there is no audience to impress, no external benchmarks to meet. The constant need for validation dissolves, and you begin to listen to the voice that has always been within you, your own. You come face to face with your thoughts, dreams, fears, and desires without the distortion of others' perceptions. In that stillness, self-awareness takes root. You start to see patterns of thought and behavior that were previously hidden beneath the surface noise. This journey inward reveals truths about yourself that no amount of external validation could ever provide. You learn to understand what drives you, what holds you back, and where your true passions lie. You become intimately familiar with your strengths and, perhaps even more importantly, your limitations. Yet instead of fearing or denying these limitations, you learn to embrace them as integral parts of your humanity, knowing they too can become sources of growth. Confidence built through solitude is unlike any that can be borrowed from the praise of others. It is a confidence born of authenticity. You are no longer performing a role to fit into the expectations of friends, family, or society. Instead, you are living from a place of deep alignment with your true self. This authenticity radiates an unspoken power, one that does not need validation to sustain itself, because it is rooted in a profound self-knowing. It does not need validation to sustain itself, because it is rooted in a profound self-knowing. When you rely on external validation, your sense of worth becomes fragile, dependent on conditions that are ever-changing and beyond your control. Praise today can turn to criticism tomorrow. Approval can shift to rejection. But the clarity gained in solitude frees you from these fluctuations. It teaches you to stand firm, unshaken by the opinions of others. Your worth becomes intrinsic, a truth that cannot be altered by external circumstances. Living alone does not mean isolating yourself from the world, but rather embracing moments of intentional separation, where you can reflect, reset, and realign. These moments become sacred spaces where you can recharge and refine your vision for your life. The clarity that emerges from this practice sharpens your focus and empowers your decision-making. You no longer act out of fear or the need for approval, but from a place of conviction and purpose. Solitude also presents a unique mirror, one that reveals your deepest fears and insecurities. But instead of being overwhelmed by them, you learn to confront and understand them. In doing so, you build resilience and emotional strength. You realize that the battles you once fought for validation or recognition are no longer necessary, because your peace no longer depends on others' perceptions. To be aware of this, prosperous and happy, spend more time with people that you love. Through this process, you become your own source of encouragement, validation, and guidance. The noise of external opinions fades, and the voice of your intuition becomes clearer and more distinct. You develop a relationship with yourself that is built on trust and respect, one that cannot be shaken by the external world. In the stillness of solitude, you find that true strength lies not in how the world perceives you, but in how deeply you know and honor yourself. Clarity emerges when the distractions fall away, and confidence is built on a foundation that is untouchable by the shifting tides of external opinion. Alone, you cultivate a sense of wholeness and self-sufficiency that is unyielding and liberating. You discover that the strength you sought outside was always within you, waiting to be uncovered in the quiet embrace of solitude. Living alone is an invitation to experience life on your terms, free from the subtle and overt influences that relationships often bring. It offers a kind of personal freedom that is unfiltered and unbound, a liberation of thought, action, and expression that allows you to be fully yourself without compromise. This freedom is not merely about physical independence, but about embracing the vast expanse of mental and emotional space where your authentic self can emerge and thrive. When you live alone, your thoughts belong solely to you. There is no need to adjust your perspective to accommodate another person's opinions, preferences, or beliefs. This mental space allows your ideas to flow freely, unshackled by the need for approval or validation. You can explore new interests, question established norms, and develop insights without external pressures shaping your conclusions. That is the privilege of being an individual. Your mind becomes your sanctuary, where creativity and innovation are given room to flourish. Action too takes on a different dimension when you live alone. You set your own pace and define your own routines. There are no shared schedules or compromises to navigate. Your time is your own. If you wish to spend an entire day in deep contemplation or dive headlong into a creative project, you have that freedom. If spontaneity calls and you decide to change your plans, there is no one to consult or justify your choices to. This autonomy fosters a sense of empowerment as you realize that every decision is yours to make and every consequence yours to embrace. It drives presence and momentum. It inspires confidence in the achievement of your long-term vision. Living alone also provides a canvas for unfiltered self-expression. In your private space, you are free to be exactly who you are without fear of judgment. You can express yourself through your environment, arranging it in a way that reflects your unique tastes and preferences. You may fill it with colors, textures, and sounds that inspire you, or create a minimalist haven that soothes your spirit. Your home becomes an extension of your identity, crafted solely by your vision. Even more importantly, this freedom extends to how you present yourself. Without the need to consider the expectations of others, you can dress, speak, and act in ways that align with your authentic self. The constraints of societal or relational norms fall away, and you are liberated to embrace your individuality fully. This authenticity fosters a deeper connection to yourself, one that is honest and unfiltered. Beyond this consciousness, you can experience this deep space of boundless connection to the pyramid itself. You are not in control of anything, and the freedom that comes with living alone also encourages self-discovery. Without external distractions, you have the opportunity to reflect on your values, goals, and desires. You gain clarity about what truly matters to you and develop a stronger sense of purpose. This self-awareness fuels growth, as you are no longer living according to someone else's vision of who you should be, but rather crafting your life based on your own aspirations. Such technology advances improve your life and improve your identity, but rather crafting your life based on your own aspirations. Solitude often reveals the strength and resilience within you. Living alone means you learn to navigate challenges independently. Whether it's managing the practicalities of daily life or confronting emotional hurdles, you come to trust your ability to handle whatever comes your way. This self-reliance builds confidence and reinforces the knowledge that you are capable of standing strong on your own. Solitude does the same for the individual. It creates space to reflect, resettle, and begin making decisions based on your relaxation routine. This newfound freedom does not imply a rejection of relationships, but rather an understanding that personal autonomy is invaluable. Relationships, when entered into from a place of wholeness and self-sufficiency, can be enriching and fulfilling. Yet the freedom found in solitude offers a unique and irreplaceable path to self-realization. It teaches you to cherish your independence and to recognize that your worth and happiness are not contingent upon external factors. A certain richness gives healthiness and happiness are not contingent upon external factors. Rather, in living alone, you discover the profound power of personal freedom, a freedom that allows you to think without limits, act without restraint, and express yourself without fear. It is a journey of self-liberation where your true essence can shine unapologetically. This is the essence of a life fully and freely lived. When you are alone, a remarkable transformation occurs. Your energy, once divided by the demands of external interactions, becomes fully available for the pursuit of your highest desires. In solitude, your attention no longer fragments under the weight of conversations, obligations, or the emotional complexities that often accompany relationships. Instead, it sharpens and narrows, aligning with your vision for what you seek to manifest. Guided by this awareness, your vision becomes stronger and denser, aligning with your vision for what you seek to manifest. This undivided focus becomes a powerful catalyst for creation, propelling you toward your goals with clarity and intention. This is where the great magic happens, when we trust ourselves to be in the now and not in the future. Without the distractions that naturally arise from living in close connection with others, your desires come into sharper focus. You begin to discern what is truly important to you, unclouded by the expectations or opinions of those around you. Solitude strips away the noise, leaving only your inner voice to guide you. This clarity allows you to define your goals with precision and to pursue them with unwavering dedication. In this space of uninterrupted focus, your mind becomes fertile ground for imagination and inspiration. The absence of external interruptions creates room for new ideas to emerge and take shape. You can sit with your thoughts, explore possibilities, and refine your vision without feeling rushed or constrained. The creative process unfolds naturally, allowing you to tap into a wellspring of innovative thinking. Your time becomes your own, and with it the freedom to structure your days in alignment with your aspirations. No longer bound by the schedules or preferences of others, you have the liberty to devote yourself fully to your pursuits. Whether it is building a business, honing a craft, or deepening your spiritual practice, solitude grants you the time and mental space needed to immerse yourself in your work. The steady rhythm of uninterrupted effort allows for deep concentration and flow, a state where time seems to dissolve and productivity soars. The energy that solitude provides is not only mental but also emotional. Freed from the need to navigate interpersonal dynamics, you conserve emotional energy that can now be directed toward nurturing your inner world and manifesting your dreams. You can channel your emotions constructively, using them as fuel for creativity and determination. This emotional clarity strengthens your resolve and fortifies your commitment to achieving your goals. Solitude also fosters a sense of accountability to yourself. Without external influences, you become solely responsible for the pursuit and realization of your desires. This self-reliance empowers you as you learn to trust your own instincts and abilities. You develop discipline and perseverance, qualities that are essential for turning visions into reality. The absence of distractions reveals your capacity to stay focused, even in the face of challenges, because your energy remains centered and undeterred. Manifestation thrives in the fertile ground of solitude. When your focus is uninterrupted, you align more deeply with your intentions, infusing them with belief and determination. You are no longer seeking validation or approval from others. Instead, your desires become declarations of what you know to be possible. This inner alignment accelerates the manifestation process because your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in harmony, creating a powerful force that draws your vision into being. The solitude that nurtures focus also cultivates patience and persistence. Without the pressure to meet external timelines or benchmarks, you learn to trust in the natural unfolding of your desires. You recognize that creation is a process, and you honor each step along the way. This patience strengthens your resolve and keeps you aligned with your purpose, even when the path is not immediately clear. Living alone does not mean living without purpose or connection. It means dedicating yourself fully to the creation of a life that reflects your highest aspirations. In this sacred space of solitude, your energy becomes a concentrated force, propelling you toward the fulfillment of your deepest desires. The distractions of the world fall away, leaving only the unyielding focus needed to manifest your vision and transform it into reality. Silence holds a profound power often overlooked in the noisy distractions of daily life. It is in moments of stillness that clarity emerges and wisdom speaks. When you step away from the chaos and embrace solitude, you begin to hear the quiet whispers of intuition, those subtle insights that guide your destiny with precision and purpose. Silence becomes a sacred teacher, offering revelations not accessible in the clamor of the world. In solitude, without the incessant chatter of conversations, social obligations, or digital distractions, you create space for the mind to settle and for deeper truths to surface. The noise of daily life often drowns out your inner voice, clouding your judgment and masking the wisdom that resides within. But in the quiet of solitude, your thoughts no longer compete for attention. They unfold naturally, allowing you to observe them without judgment or interference. This stillness reveals what was previously hidden, a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. The answers to pressing questions and dilemmas that seemed elusive often emerge effortlessly when you allow yourself to sit in silence. The wisdom gained in these moments is not a product of logical reasoning alone, but a harmonious blend of intellect and intuition. Silence bridges the gap between what the mind knows and what the spirit understands, guiding you toward decisions aligned with your true path. The absence of external noise also sharpens your perception. You become more attuned to the subtleties of life, the shifts in energy, the gentle pull of inspiration, and the nuances of your own emotions. This heightened awareness allows you to connect more deeply with your purpose and passions. The clarity gained in silence becomes a compass, helping you navigate life with greater confidence and certainty. Stepping into the harmony of your awareness makes you less absorbed in thoughts of your own perceptions and certainty. Furthermore, silence provides a refuge for reflection. In solitude, you have the time and space to review your experiences, learn from them, and grow. You begin to see patterns and connections that were previously obscured by the busyness of life. This reflective process deepens your understanding of the lessons life presents and empowers you to make choices rooted in wisdom rather than impulse. And transitions can save us. It takes energy, awareness, and the rooted desire all within the phase on path. The wisdom found in silence is not confined to intellectual understanding. It is also deeply intuitive. In the quiet moments of solitude, you begin to hear the whispers of your inner knowing. These whispers often carry profound truths that can guide your actions and decisions. Unlike the loud proclamations of the external world, these intuitive insights speak softly but with certainty. They are the seeds of inspiration that, when nurtured, grow into transformative ideas and actions. Listening to these whispers requires trust. The modern world often conditions us to seek validation and answers externally, but true wisdom arises from within. Silence teaches you to trust your intuition and honor the guidance it provides. This trust deepens your connection to yourself and strengthens your ability to navigate life authentically and courageously. Silence also connects you to the greater wisdom of the universe. In moments of stillness, you sense the interconnectedness of all things and tap into the infinite intelligence that flows through creation. The silence of solitude becomes a portal to this vast wisdom, offering insights that go beyond the limitations of the individual mind. You begin to see your place in the grand tapestry of existence and understand your role in shaping your destiny. Embracing silence as a source of wisdom does not mean retreating permanently from the world, but rather cultivating a practice of returning to the stillness within. It is about finding balance between engagement with the external and connection to the internal. In doing so, you carry the wisdom of silence with you, even in the midst of life's noise. Sighs to a changing world from hence. Number 1. Sit, close your eyes, and connect with the inner Visana. In solitude, the universe speaks through silence. It reveals truths, illuminates your path, and guides you toward your highest potential. By listening to the wisdom that silence offers, you align with the natural flow of life, empowered by the quiet certainty that comes from knowing you are being guided by a deeper, timeless intelligence. Footnote: Essay on Meditation. Living alone offers a profound liberation from the weight of social expectations. In solitude, you step away from the invisible chains of societal pressures that dictate how you should act, think, or feel. Without the constant influence of external opinions and judgments, you find the freedom to embrace your authentic self and live in alignment with your inner compass. This detachment from societal norms is not only liberating but transformative, allowing you to craft a life that resonates deeply with your true essence. This creates a greater sense of meaning and purpose in life. Society often imposes unspoken rules about what is considered acceptable, successful, or worthy. These expectations are woven into every facet of life: career choices, relationships, appearances, and even the way you express emotions. When you live within the constant gaze of others, it can be challenging to discern where their expectations end and your genuine desires begin. The pressure to conform can lead to a life that feels hollow, as though you are playing a role rather than living authentically. This book recommends developing a personal brand mini hideaway that allows you to understand your unique power and stand in your authentic power. I believe by using the principles and skills in this book, you will be successful. Solitude disrupts this pattern. Alone, you are no longer performing for an audience or measuring your worth against external standards. The absence of constant scrutiny provides the space to question these societal constructs and determine which, if any, align with your values. You begin to strip away the layers of conditioning and uncover the essence of who you truly are. Soul connection is the essence of who you truly are. This process of self-discovery is profoundly liberating, as it allows you to step into your own truth and embrace it unapologetically. Detachment from social expectations does not mean rejecting society altogether. Rather, it is about reclaiming your sovereignty. When you are free from the need to seek approval or avoid judgment, you gain clarity about what truly matters to you. Your decisions are no longer driven by fear of disapproval or a desire to fit in. Instead, they are guided by your inner compass, a deep, intuitive sense of what feels right for you. So imperious is this conviction of my strong foundation of truth, that if I ever have any doubts, how much less now do I ever have feelings of judgment, of deep intuitive sense of what feels right for you. This alignment with your authentic self brings a sense of peace and fulfillment that cannot be found in conformity. Living authentically also means embracing your unique path, even if it deviates from societal norms. Solitude empowers you to explore unconventional choices without fear of judgment. Whether it is pursuing a passion that others may not understand, living a minimalist lifestyle, or redefining success on your own terms, the freedom of solitude allows you to honor your individuality. Each choice becomes an expression of your truth, And this authenticity attracts experiences and connections that resonate with your soul. As you detach from social expectations, you also release the burden of comparison. The constant exposure to curated images of other people's lives, especially in the digital age, can create feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Solitude shields you from this noise, giving you the opportunity to focus inward and recognize your inherent worth. You come to understand that your value is not determined by how well you measure up to others, but by your ability to live authentically and joyfully. This liberation fosters a sense of self-reliance and resilience. Without the need for external validation, you become your own source of affirmation and encouragement. Challenges and setbacks lose their sting because they are no longer magnified by the fear of what others might think. Instead, you view them as opportunities for growth and self-improvement, guided by your own standards rather than societal ones. Sincere prayer, living by your inner compass, brings a profound sense of fulfillment. When you make choices that align with your values and desires, your life feels meaningful and purposeful. You are no longer chasing goals that others have set for you or trying to fit into molds that do not suit you. Instead, you are creating a life that reflects your unique essence, one that brings genuine joy and satisfaction. The liberation from social expectations that solitude provides is a gift. It allows you to step off the treadmill of societal demands and into a space where you can truly know and honor yourself. In this freedom, you discover that authenticity is the key to a life well lived, and the courage to follow your inner compass becomes your greatest strength. It's in the stillness of solitude, a profound connection to the divine becomes possible. Free from distractions and external noise, your spirit is more receptive to divine inspiration and guidance. It is in these quiet moments of solitude that you can truly hear the whispers of the divine, those gentle nudges and impressions that steer your soul toward its highest purpose. This sacred stillness anchors you in unwavering faith, fostering a relationship with the divine that transcends the limitations of the material world. The constant busyness of modern life often clouds the clarity needed to perceive the presence of the divine. The demands of work, relationships, and social obligations create a cacophony that drowns out the subtle yet profound communication from the divine realm. Solitude becomes a sanctuary where you can tune out these distractions and turn inward, where the true dialogue with the divine begins, and the new inward, the new sound life. In this space, you move beyond superficial concerns and into a realm of deeper understanding and peace. In the stillness, you begin to recognize that divine inspiration does not always come in grand revelations, but often manifests as quiet insights or gentle impressions. These subtle forms of communication guide you with precision and wisdom, offering solutions to challenges, clarity in confusion, and reassurance in moments of doubt. The more you embrace this stillness, the more attuned you become to these divine messages, cultivating a profound sense of trust in the guidance you receive. Cultivating a profound sense of trust in the guidance you receive. Faith, often shaken by external circumstances, is strengthened in solitude. When you remove the noise and opinions of the world, you are reminded that true faith is not dependent on external validation or outcomes. It is an inner knowing, a deep conviction that transcends appearances and anchors you in the truth of divine presence and support. In solitude, you witness firsthand the unfolding of divine timing and orchestration, building a trust that is unshakable, even in the face of uncertainty. Solitude also offers the gift of self-reflection, allowing you to examine your thoughts, beliefs, and intentions without external influence. This reflection helps you discern between the voice of ego and the voice of the divine. As you quiet the ego-driven desires and fears, the divine presence becomes more apparent, guiding you toward a life of greater purpose and alignment, and becomes directly in line with your purpose, love, and passion. This deepening awareness brings with it a sense of peace and assurance. knowing that you are divinely supported at every step of your journey. End quote. The strength and connection to the divine cultivated in solitude also inspires creativity and vision. Divine inspiration flows effortlessly when the mind is not cluttered by the expectations and judgments of the world. In this sacred space, you tap into a wellspring of creativity that fuels your passions and propels you toward your goals. The ideas and solutions that emerge from this connection are not only innovative, but often carry a sense of divine timing and purpose, unfolding perfectly in alignment with your highest good. End quote. This connection nurtures a sense of oneness with all of creation. In solitude, you realize that you are never truly alone. You sense the interconnectedness of life and feel the divine presence not only within yourself but in everything around you. This realization dissolves feelings of separation and cultivates a deep sense of unity and belonging, anchored in the understanding that the divine essence flows through all things. Goddard, as you cultivate this strengthened connection, your faith transforms from a fragile hope into a steadfast certainty. You no longer seek proof of divine presence in external circumstances, because you carry that presence within you. The stillness of solitude becomes your sanctuary, a place where divine inspiration is not only received, but embraced and trusted. Solitude reveals that the divine is always near, waiting patiently for you to turn inward and listen. In this sacred communion, your faith is renewed, your spirit uplifted, and your path illuminated by the light of divine wisdom and love. Through this strengthened connection, you are empowered to navigate life with grace and courage, secure in the knowledge that you are guided and supported by a force greater than yourself. In embracing solitude, you unlock the profound gifts of self-mastery, personal freedom, uninterrupted focus, and divine connection. Each step inward reveals strength, clarity, and purpose that cannot be found in the noise of external validation. Living alone is not a rejection of others, but a celebration of your authentic self, an opportunity to align with your highest vision and deepest wisdom. In the silence, you hear the whispers of your soul and the voice of divine inspiration guiding you toward a life of meaning and fulfillment. Thank you for embarking on this journey of reflection and transformation. May your path be illuminated by the light within. Goodbye. My friends, success is not a distant prize reserved for the fortunate few. It is not something you must chase endlessly, hoping one day to grasp. The truth is far simpler, yet far more profound. Everything you seek is already within you. The life you desire waits patiently for your recognition and acceptance of this truth. Acceptance of this truth. Imagine standing before a locked door, believing the key is hidden somewhere outside yourself. But what if I told you the key has always been in your hand? You only needed the awareness to see it. This awareness is the secret to endless victory in your life. Understand this. Your imagination is the creative force of your reality. What you imagine with feeling and belief will manifest without fail. It is not a matter of if, but when. Close your eyes and see yourself already living your dream. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, and the gratitude as though it were real this very moment. When you master this inner state, the outer world cannot help but conform. Do not make the mistake of focusing on the obstacles or asking, how will it happen? That is not your. The world you see around you is not separate from the thoughts you carry within. Every encounter, every challenge, and every triumph is a reflection of your internal state. Many believe life happens to them, that they are at the mercy of external forces, luck, or circumstances beyond their control. But the truth is far deeper and far more empowering. Life responds to you. Your outer reality is molded by the beliefs you hold, the assumptions you make, and the emotions you cultivate in your inner world. When you think of your life as a mirror, you begin to see that your experiences are not random. They are precise reflections of your innermost thoughts and feelings. Consider the person who constantly believes they are unlucky. They find validation of this belief everywhere. A missed opportunity, a chance encounter gone wrong, or a goal just out of reach. The problem is not that life is cruel or that chance is unfair, but that the individual has projected their belief outward, shaping their reality to match it. Those who carry an unshakable belief in their own success find opportunities in abundance, even amid challenges. They are not spared difficulties, but their conviction shapes their response to adversity. Because they believe success is inevitable, life conforms to that inner state. They see solutions where others see obstacles, and the world mirrors their confidence by presenting paths to victory. You may wonder how this shift happens or why your beliefs carry such power. It is because your subconscious mind does not distinguish between reality and imagination. Whatever you consistently think, feel, and believe becomes a command to your subconscious, which then works tirelessly to manifest that state in your external world. If you continually dwell on thoughts of lack, fear, or failure, your subconscious accepts these as truths and manifests conditions to reinforce them. Case it, the opposite is also true. When you cultivate thoughts of abundance, confidence, and joy, you send a new message to your subconscious. This is my truth, and life will shift to reflect this new understanding. It does not happen by chance or mere positive thinking alone, but through a deliberate shift in perception and belief. To create the life you desire, you must begin by examining your internal dialogue. What stories are you telling yourself about your capabilities, worth, and potential? Are they stories of limitation or empowerment? If they are not serving you, change them. You have the authority to rewrite the narrative that governs your life. Instead of affirming lack, affirm abundance. Instead of dwelling on failure, imagine success. Enough. This process does not require the world outside you to change first. Often we wait for conditions to improve before we allow ourselves to feel happy, successful, or worthy. But that is not how transformation works. The inner shift must precede the outer result. When you feel prosperous, even when your bank account suggests otherwise, life will respond by aligning with your new belief. When you carry the feeling of love, even before a partner appears, you will attract the relationship that matches your inner state. It is not always an easy practice, especially when the physical world offers contrary evidence, but persistence is key. Hold steadfast to your inner vision, even when circumstances seem unchanged. Remind yourself that what you see outwardly is merely a reflection of your past thoughts and beliefs. As your inner world transforms, the outer world must follow. The beauty of this truth is that it places power squarely in your hands. You are not a victim of life's randomness. You are the creator, shaping your reality with every thought and feeling you choose to entertain. When you accept this, life becomes not a series of uncontrollable events, but a canvas upon which you paint your desires. And the more you practice aligning your inner state with the life you wish to experience, the more effortlessly that life will unfold before you. The journey of transformation begins and ends within. Trust the process, honor your inner world, and know that your reality will always reflect your state of being. Choose thoughts that serve you, embody the feelings of the life you desire, and watch as your external world transforms to match the brilliance of your imagination. The key to lasting success lies not outside of you, but within. Imagination holds the power to create and shape the life you desire. It is the key to manifestation, a divine gift that allows you to transcend the limitations of your current circumstances and bring forth what has not yet appeared in the physical world. Everything you see, everything you experience, first began as a thought, a vision, held within the mind of someone who dared to believe it could be real. Your imagination is no different. It is your most potent tool for transformation, capable of bending reality to match the images you consistently and vividly create within your consciousness. What you imagine with clarity and conviction becomes the blueprint for your life. Your subconscious mind does not discern between what is real and what is imagined. It responds only to the images and emotions you feed it. When you repeatedly picture a desired outcome, your mind accepts it as truth and begins to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions to manifest that vision. If you imagine yourself living in abundance, with every need met and joy filling your days, your subconscious will guide you to the conditions that match that state of being. Similarly, if you dwell on images of lack, failure, or fear, your life will mirror those realities. This creative process is always active, whether you realize it or not. Every thought you entertain, every image you hold in your mind, is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious. The problem many face is not that they lack the ability to imagine, but that they use this gift unconsciously, imagining worst-case scenarios or dwelling on what they do not want. In doing so, they unknowingly manifest experiences that align with their fears and doubts. The problem many face is a global mind control, and the truth is everything is a mind control. To harness the full power of imagination, you must become deliberate in your thinking. Begin by creating a clear vision of the life you desire. Do not concern yourself with whether it seems possible or realistic. Imagination knows no bounds and is not confined by logic or current conditions. See yourself living that life as vividly as possible. Engage all your senses, hear the sounds, see the colors, feel the emotions of joy, freedom, or fulfillment as if they were already yours. The more real and detailed your imagined scene, the more powerful its effect will be. Consistency is vital. It is not enough to imagine your desired reality once and then return to old patterns of doubt and fear. Just as a gardener tends to their plants daily, you must nurture your vision through regular imaginative practice. This does not mean forcing the manifestation, but rather dwelling in the feeling of having already received what you desire. Let the joy of that imagined experience fill you until it becomes a natural state of being. Belief is equally important. When you align your imagination with belief, you create an unstoppable force. You must trust that what you imagine is not only possible, but already in the process of becoming real. Doubt and disbelief act as barriers, cutting off the flow of creative energy and delaying the manifestation of your vision. But belief opens the door wide, allowing your desires to take form effortlessly. Destiny portrays her bridal party on the grass while greeting you with questions of life and death. Some may question how imagination alone can bring about tangible results. They may argue that action is the only path to success. But action without imagination is directionless. When you imagine clearly and believe fully, inspired actions will naturally follow. You will find yourself drawn to the right people, opportunities, and circumstances that bring your vision into reality. There is no strain or struggle when your imagination leads. Instead, life unfolds with ease and grace. Your imagination is limitless. It is not bound by time, space, or current conditions. It allows you to step into the life you want before it physically manifests and experience it fully in the present. This is the true secret to manifestation, living from the reality you wish to create, rather than reacting to what currently exists. You must literally envision your desired events, and then meditate on being the person you want to be. Every great achievement, every invention, every leap of human progress began as an idea, a vision held in the mind of someone who believed in its reality before it was visible to the world. You have that same creative power. Use it wisely. Imagine boldly, believe without doubt, and watch as life mirrors the brilliance of your imagination, manifesting all that you have dared to dream. The secret to receiving what you desire lies in embodying the feeling of already having it. Most people wait for external circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel joy, peace, or success. They believe that once their goals are met, when the promotion comes, the relationship forms, or financial abundance arrives, then they will experience the emotions they seek. But this approach places the source of happiness outside of themselves, making it elusive and conditional. True manifestation works differently. Life reflects your internal state. It mirrors the emotions and feelings you consistently hold. If you wait for your desires to manifest before you feel fulfilled, you are trapped in a cycle of longing and frustration. The path to creation requires that you first cultivate the emotional state of already living your desired reality. You must feel it as real now, regardless of external appearances. Imagine for a moment the life you dream of living. See it in vivid detail. What does it look like? More importantly, what does it feel like? Are you filled with joy, confidence, freedom, or peace? Focus on those feelings. Now, instead of thinking of this vision as something distant or separate from you, step into it fully. Feel as though you are already living that reality. Let the emotions wash over you as if your dream life were your current life. The mind may resist this practice, insisting that your physical circumstances do not match your imagined experience. But remember, the subconscious mind does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It accepts your emotional state as truth and works to bring about external conditions that align with it. When you feel prosperous, your mind and body respond by creating conditions for prosperity. When you feel loved, even before the physical appearance of a partner, your energy shifts to attract love into your life. People have the ability to create a new future, so show me that feeling. This practice of feeling it real is not about pretending or living in denial of your present situation. It is about choosing to reside in the emotional state of your fulfilled desire, despite current appearances. By doing this, you break free from the limitations of your environment and allow yourself to rise to a higher state of being, one that attracts and creates the life you want. One of the greatest challenges is maintaining these feelings when external circumstances seem unchanged or even contrary to your desires. This is where faith and persistence come into play. You must trust the creative process and remain unwavering in your feelings, even when the physical world offers no immediate evidence of change. Understand that what you see outwardly is often a reflection of your past thoughts and emotions. The new reality you are creating with your present feelings takes time to manifest fully. Think of it like planting a seed. You would not dig up the soil every day to check if the seed is growing. Instead, you trust that with proper care it will sprout and flourish in time. Similarly, as you consistently embody the feeling of your fulfilled desire, life responds by bringing that reality into form. Your job is to nurture those feelings, to live in the joy of already having received what you desire. When doubts arise, and they often will, gently return to your feelings of fulfillment. Remind yourself that the only reality that matters is the one you create within. The outer world will catch up in due time. You have the power to choose your emotional state in every moment. You can dwell in the feelings of lack and frustration, or you can rise above them, choosing instead to feel joy, peace, and satisfaction. This practice transforms not only your circumstances, but also your entire outlook on life. You become a creator rather than a reactor, shaping your experiences with intention and clarity. By feeling it as real now, you align yourself with the life you desire, making its manifestation not just possible but inevitable. Trust in this truth, embody your desires, and watch as life unfolds in ways that exceed even your most vivid dreams. One of the greatest obstacles to manifesting your desires is the tendency to obsess over how things will unfold. The mind craves control, wanting to map out every detail and anticipate every step required to reach your goals. However, this attachment to how often creates resistance rather than alignment. True manifestation is not about micromanaging the process, but about trusting that life will orchestrate events in perfect harmony to bring your desires to fruition. When you focus too heavily on the steps or timing, you limit the infinite ways in which your dreams can manifest. The universe, or the creative power that governs all things, operates beyond human understanding and logic. It sees possibilities and connections that the conscious mind cannot fathom. By insisting on a specific path or timeline, you close yourself off from the countless other avenues through which your desire could materialize, often in ways far better than you could have imagined. Detachment from how does not mean apathy or inaction. It means releasing the need to control every detail and instead trusting that what you seek is already on its way. Your role in the process is to hold a clear vision of your desire, feel it as real, and remain in a state of receptive expectation. You set the destination. The universe charts the course. Imagine setting out on a journey to a place you've never visited before. You may have a general idea of the route, but you trust your GPS to guide you step by step. You don't question every turn or demand to know the exact road conditions miles ahead. You simply follow the directions, knowing they will lead you to your destination. Manifestation works similarly. Once you have set your intention, you must trust that the guidance and circumstances you need will present themselves at the right time. This trust becomes especially crucial when faced with uncertainty or delays. The mind is quick to interpret waiting as failure or assume that things are not working out. But what appears as delay is often a necessary part of the process. Life is aligning conditions behind the scenes, moving people, opportunities, and resources into place for your desire to manifest. During these moments, your job is to remain steady in your belief, not to force outcomes or panic over perceived setbacks. It's important to understand that attachment to how often stems from fear. Fear that your desire won't come true or that you must force it into being. But fear is a constrictive energy that blocks manifestation. Trust, on the other hand, is expansive. It allows you to remain open to possibilities beyond what you can see or predict. When you let go of the need to control every step, you create space for miracles to occur. A practical way to cultivate detachment is through daily affirmation of trust. Remind yourself, I don't need to know how this will happen. I only need to know that it will. This simple affirmation shifts your focus from doubt to faith and reinforces your role as a co-creator, not a controller. Visualization can also help. Envision your desire as already realized, but without trying to figure out the sequence of events that brought it to you. Simply dwell in the joy and gratitude of having already received it. It's a higher understanding. The feeling of being present is a relief to the sense of waiting for something to happen. Take inspired action when it feels right, but do not mistake action for control. There is a difference between forcing outcomes and following intuitive nudges. When you are aligned with your desire, the right actions will feel natural, almost effortless. They will arise from a place of flow, not struggle. Detachment is not about giving up. It is about surrendering control to a higher wisdom. It is trusting that the same force that governs the movement of the stars, the changing of the seasons, and the beating of your heart is fully capable of manifesting your dreams. Let go of the need to dictate the journey, and you will find yourself joyfully arriving at destinations beyond your greatest expectations. Life is always working in your favor. Trust it. The journey of manifestation requires one essential quality above all: persistence in assumption. To hold steadfast to your inner conviction despite external appearances is to stand firm in the knowledge that your desired reality already exists within you. This unwavering belief is the force that shapes and transforms the outer world to reflect your inner vision. Many people falter because they allow what they see around them to dictate their beliefs and feelings. If the evidence before them does not support their desires, they lose faith, believing their efforts are in vain. However, manifestation does not respond to external conditions. It responds to the conviction you carry within. The outer world is merely a delayed reflection of your past thoughts and assumptions. Now you have the opportunity to discover your unconscious mind and control your mind. If you wish to change your reality, you must first change your inner state and persist in that assumption, no matter what the current circumstances may show. Now, for this great realization to occur, we must give thanks to our superconsciousness again. Persistence does not mean struggle or forcing yourself to maintain a belief through sheer willpower. It is a calm, confident knowing that what you desire is already yours, even if it has not yet materialized physically. Think of a farmer who plants a seed. He does not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. He trusts that with time, nourishment, and care, the seed will sprout and bear fruit. Persistence does not mean a falling into crisis. Stay the course and the flower will sprout and bear fruit. Similarly, your assumptions are seeds planted in the fertile ground of your subconscious mind. They need nurturing through focused attention, unwavering belief, and emotional alignment. There will be moments when doubt creeps in or when external conditions seem to contradict your desires. In these moments, persistence becomes your greatest ally. Remind yourself that appearances are temporary and subject to change. They are not permanent truths, but reflections of old patterns of thought. As you persist in your new assumption, those outdated reflections will fade, replaced by the manifestation of your desired reality. The reflection of resistance is your final deflection, replaced by the manifestation of your desired reality. To reinforce your persistence, practice imagining your desires fulfilled. See it, feel it, and live it within your mind as if it were already your present experience. The more vividly you embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the stronger your conviction becomes. When external conditions challenge your belief, return to this inner vision. Let it be your refuge, a place where you anchor yourself in the truth of your manifestation. One of the most powerful ways to maintain persistence is through affirmations that align with your desired state. Choose words that resonate deeply with your intention and repeat them with conviction. It is done, I am, or thank you can become powerful anchors of belief. Every time doubt arises, affirm your inner truth. Over time, these affirmations will become ingrained, reinforcing your assumption and helping you maintain your focus. Another key aspect of persistence is detachment from immediate results. Manifestation operates on its own timeline, often bringing forth results in ways and at times you cannot predict. Trust that what you seek is already making its way to you, even if you cannot yet see it. Avoid measuring progress by external signs. Instead, gauge your success by the strength of your inner conviction. The more consistently you hold to your assumption, the closer you are to realizing your desire. It is also important to cultivate patience and gratitude during this process. Gratitude signals to your subconscious mind that your desire is already fulfilled, reinforcing your assumption. Be thankful not only for what is already manifested, but for the unseen forces working behind the scenes to bring your desires into form. Patience allows you to remain calm and centered, trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly. Either side the expanding ocean. Persistence in assumption transforms you from a passive observer to an active creator of your life. It empowers you to rise above circumstances and align with your highest vision. By holding fast to your inner conviction, you become immovable, a beacon of unwavering faith in the midst of external chaos. Know that as you persist, the outer world will inevitably conform to your inner reality. Trust in this truth and watch as life unfolds in harmony with your most cherished dreams. Gratitude is one of the most transformative forces in the journey of manifesting your desires. It acts as a magnet, drawing abundance, joy, and fulfillment into your life. When you appreciate what you have and express thankfulness for your desires, as if they are already fulfilled, you shift your focus from lack to abundance. This shift in awareness not only changes your internal state, but also aligns you with the energy necessary to bring your desires into form. The power of gratitude lies in its ability to anchor you in the present moment. Often the pursuit of desires creates a sense of longing and separation from what you want. You think, if only I had this, then I would be happy. But gratitude eliminates that gap by teaching you to see the present as whole and complete. When you practice gratitude, you are no longer yearning for a distant outcome. Instead, you embody the feeling of having already received what you desire. Life then mirrors this state of abundance, bringing more reasons for gratitude into your experience. Begin by recognizing the blessings already present in your life. No matter your current circumstances, there is always something to appreciate. The air you breathe, the warmth of the sun, the people who love you, or simply the fact that you are alive and capable of creating change. When you focus on these blessings, you naturally elevate your vibration, aligning yourself with positive energy. This alignment creates a fertile ground for new manifestations to grow. It is important to express gratitude not only for what is currently visible, but also for the unseen blessings that are on their way. When you give thanks in advance for your desires, you signal to the universe that you believe in the certainty of their manifestation. This form of gratitude shifts your mindset from one of lack to one of trust and expectation. By embodying the feeling of already having received your desires, you accelerate their arrival. This form of gratitude produces an emotional level of connection to what really exists. Gratitude is more than just thinking thankful thoughts. It is a state of being. Feel gratitude deeply and sincerely, allowing it to fill your entire being. Let it radiate from your heart and infuse your thoughts, emotions, and actions. When you truly embody gratitude, you create a powerful resonance that draws abundance into your life effortlessly. The key is to move beyond intellectual acknowledgement and immerse yourself fully in the emotional experience of appreciation. The challenges and setbacks can make it difficult to maintain a grateful mindset, but these moments often present the greatest opportunities for growth. Even in difficult times, look for the hidden gifts and lessons. Gratitude does not deny hardship. Instead, it transforms your perspective, helping you see how every experience contributes to your growth and evolution. When you can be thankful for challenges, you reclaim your power and align yourself with the abundance of life. Practicing daily gratitude rituals can reinforce this magnetic energy. Keep a journal where you write down 3 to 5 things you are grateful for each day. Be specific and allow yourself to feel the joy of each blessing as you write. You can also incorporate gratitude into your meditation practice by visualizing your desires and mentally giving thanks for them as if they have already manifested. Let this gratitude wash over you, saturating your awareness with positivity. The mind is a seething ocean. Gratitude is not just about attracting material wealth or external achievements. It is about cultivating a mindset of abundance in all areas of life. Love, health, joy, creativity, and spiritual connection. When you adopt gratitude as a way of life, you begin to see that abundance is not something you must chase or earn. It is your natural state of being. Life responds to this awareness by amplifying the blessings in your reality. By making gratitude a cornerstone of your manifestation practice, you open yourself to the limitless flow of abundance. Appreciate the present fully. Give thanks for your desires as though they are already yours, and watch as life reflects this abundance back to you. The more you embody gratitude, the more you become a living magnet for the fulfillment of your dreams. As I live in Bombay, in embracing the transformative principles shared, you hold the key to unlocking a life of limitless abundance, joy, and fulfillment. Your inner state shapes your outer world, and by imagining vividly, feeling as though your desires are already realized, trusting the process, and persistently assuming success, you create a reality aligned with your highest aspirations. Gratitude then becomes your guiding force, magnifying blessings and paving the way for even greater manifestations. Untrained souls live by dreams, and paving the way for even greater manifestation. The journey to your desires begins within. What you envision, believe, and embody will always find its way to you. Trust in your power, persist in your inner conviction, and appreciate life's unfolding miracles. With each step, know that you are constantly creating the life you are meant to live. Thank you for opening your heart and mind to these powerful truths. Stay steadfast, stay grateful, and watch as life transforms beyond your wildest dreams.